So, have you ever been really frustrated? You know, when nothing seems to be going your way, nothing seems to be going right. I half remember talking about something like that before. Let me see.
What's wrong with this? Why isn't it working? Come on, there's no sound at all. Hang on. And what's happened? Mrs. Thomas, I am the.
Well, that's what happens to God's people today in Ezra. They get in a situation where we might think that they'd be really, really frustrated because it seems unfair. They get ready to rebuild the temple that was destroyed. Remember last week they built the altar and we said now guinea pigs are just for cuddling because Jesus made the once for all time sacrifice for us. So they've done all that. Now they're ready to build the temple and they've got their tools and they've got their bricks and they're just about to lay the first brick when they get a letter.
Dear God's people, we are the locals here, and we would just love to help you rebuild your temple. How about we come over now and give you a hand? Oodles of love, your enemies. Hang on, you can't actually write enemies. They'll know that we're lying about helping them. Hang on, are you writing what I'm saying now too? Look, just stop writing what I'm saying. Stop it. Stop it now. Now delete enemies. Your friends.
So these locals try to pretend that they want to help build the temple, but really they want to stop them building it. And when God's people say politely, thanks but no thanks, the locals get angry and they start writing another letter, this time to King Artaxerxes.
Dear King Artichoke-knees. Hang on. Dear King Artywork, please. No. Dear King Dear King. Just wanted to let you know that God's people are building a temple without asking your permission. And they're horrible, smelly people who are planning to blow raspberries at you, steal your crown, and take over the world. Lots of love. The meddling locals.
And do you know what? It worked. The king gave an order that all work on the temple must be stopped, and God's people put down their tools and put down their bricks and waited and waited and waited for 15 years. And then a new king arrived, and the locals sent him a letter too.
Dear King Darius. That was much more easy to spell than King Farty Burke Cheese. Anyway, we just wanted you to know that there are these people called God's people who want to build a temple to worship God in, and they say that King Cyrus, 2 kings ago, said they could. But of course, you're the king now, so you're in charge. Sort them out. Tons of love and hugs. Those meddling locals again.
But what they didn't realise was that actually they weren't in charge. Neither even was King Darius or King Smarty Jerktees or anyone else. Actually, God's in charge. And when they wrote to King Darius, God was sorting everything out. Because King Darius replied,
Dear meddling locals, you said King Cyrus gave them permission. Well, don't worry, I'll check. I'm sure I can find the decree in a filing cabinet somewhere. My study is a bit of a mess at the moment because I've been making TikTok videos and I had to move my desk so I could lay out all these pots and pans so I could bounce a ping pong ball on every one and finally make it land in a cup and then do a dance at the end of them. Hang on, I'm not really sure why I'm telling you all this. Anyway, my study's a bit of a mess, but I'll have a look for the decree. Who found it? And they're right. It says King Cyrus gave them full permission. And actually it also says that the locals should pay for the temple to be rebuilt. So glad you let me know. If you could nip over and give them the money, so they can get back to work. Much obliged, His Kingness.
Can you imagine it? It was really unfair what the enemies were doing, but God was keeping an eye on his people. He was working it all out for good. It's so easy for us to get frustrated when things seem to go wrong, especially with all this stuff with the virus and the different things we have to do going on at the moment. But just as God's people in Ezra found out, God has his eye on us too. He's with us and he will work it out. So what did God's people do? They trusted God and they started rebuilding the temple. So this week, if you find yourself getting frustrated because something's happening that doesn't seem fair, just take a breath. And if you want, just ask God, God, please be with me and help me keep calm. Because he's there and he's in control. More on that next week. But for now, it's great to see you. Goodbye and God bless.